Hello and welcome back to the Dreamcast. I am your host, Denise Walsh. I combine science, scripture, and stories that will inspire you to dive deep, break through your own personal glass ceiling, and design a life of your dreams.
Are you in a transition, ready for your next step, but you're unsure as to what that next step actually is? Or maybe you feel stuck, unclear, or just plain bored with life. I have been in that space myself, and instead of looking everywhere else for the answer of what should I do next, I realized that I had to create my own space and allow my own answers to bubble up. And this is exactly why I created Dream Space Online for you. It's an e-course that gives you that space needed to reconnect with your spark, release anything that may be holding you back, and create a game plan for your dreams. With 14 strategic exercises that will help you unlock your life's purpose and develop your action plan, guaranteed. In this next year, we all have a choice to make. Do we stay where we are, wondering why it's not working, or do we ask for help and learn new skills that will take us in a new direction? And for a limited time, you'll receive $1,000 in bonuses thrown in, including a 30-minute clarity call with me. I cannot wait to walk alongside you in this journey. So to learn more and purchase Dream Space online, check out jointhedreamspace.com. That's jointhedreamspace.com. Hey, dreamers. Welcome back to the Dreamcast. It is that interim week between Christmas and New Year's where I feel like I don't get out of my pajamas. We've been spending every day playing games, watching movies, making popcorn. We've had some scheduled play dates outside the house, but for the most part, we are all just kind of vegging this week, just the way I like it. I hope you had an amazing Christmas and are enjoying your week off too, if you have one. Otherwise, you may be back to your daily routine already, which if that's the case, I hope you are enjoying that as well. Well, in today's podcast, I am going to take you through a coaching session that I'm going to kind of do it on myself. I'm going to ask you to do it on yourself as well, because it's that time of year, my friends, where we reflect, we recenter, and we refocus on what it is we want next. And so there's a few questions that I've been taking my clients through that I thought might benefit you too as you start this process of starting the new year off strong. So the first question that I often ask in these coaching or goal setting sessions is, all right, tell me what went well. Now, I can tell you when I asked myself this question, what went well, what worked, tell me what you did accomplish, right? I immediately thought, I'm not as far as I expected to be. I wish that I had grown more. I wish that this, and this had been accomplished. Like I wanted to create an action planner, like a full-blown year-long planner, and we didn't do that this year. You know, there's a couple things that I didn't get to, and it didn't make it on the chopping block. And so I immediately thought, it wasn't as good as I expected it to be. Now, I'm sure that you may have feelings like that too. Like maybe my business didn't grow as much as I wanted it to, or maybe this didn't go exactly as planned. But what I know happened to me, and I'm sure it's similar for you, is when you look back, you actually did do more than you give yourself credit for. So I'm going to share with you what I accomplished over 2019. So let's say we're start back in October of 2018 is when the first Dream Life Daily Journal was launched. Now, this was my first physical product, and it came out before Design Your Dream Life because they all had to be revamped, reworked with a new designer. And in fact, we put in a book proposal for Design Your Dream Life to Thomas Nelson. So we were kind of waiting to hear back from them, which we never did, by the way. So we put out the journal first. So the journal came out in October of 2019. Then people started asking, well, what do I do next once I finish this month of journal? And I thought, we'll get another one. So we created a second journal called Dream Life Every Day that has the same principles, the same flow, the same gratitude games, or the premise of the gratitude games, the prayer, meditation, your affirmations, visualization, and then your action with just a slightly different shift. So Dream Life Daily Journal has a little bit of everything because we didn't know we would make another one. Dream Life Every Day focuses on loving where you are. And then a third one is on my heart called Dream Life Self-Discovery, which is going to be a very similar premise, similar outlines, just have a little bit of shift of loving who you are. So 2 journals have come out in the past year. And then in May, Design Your Dream Life, the main workbook came out. Now, this is something I had been working on for quite a while. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you know, you've been hanging out with me as I talked about it for a year before it actually came into fruition. And it ended up being better than expected. So Dream Life, the Dream Life journals are an accompaniment to the main book, which is Design Your Dream Life. And Design Your Dream Life combines the science, the scripture, my stories, and exercises to take you from where you want to be, or from where you are to where you want to be, right? To take you from that stuck to revival, to take you to get you to kind of launch you, give you the pathway, right, for getting unstuck and taking that next action for yourself. And it gives you the roadmap and skills to do so. So 3 books have been launched. I also started to do a ton of podcast interviews. Now, the first year of Dreamcast, I paid someone to help me not only get guests, but to be a guest. So every episode, I would pay a couple $100 to get a guest on my show. And this is really because I had no idea what I was doing. I was not involved in podcasting community at all. And so I worked with a company in order to help me do that. And so all the first year, I paid for guests and I paid to be on shows. Now, this whole second year of the Dreamcast, I'm proud to say that people are starting to come to me. So I get emails consistently that says, hey, I'm a new coach. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Would you be interested in interviewing me for your podcast? And I vetted them. You know, are they good for our community? Do they align with our mission? All of that. But we've got some amazing guests on the show this year. And it's because of the consistency and effort of the first year that kind of put me on the podcasting scene. And now I'm in the community a bit more, and I'm getting requests to interview people. But then also we have been reaching out ourselves, and I'm getting on a lot of shows just by asking. So it's been really cool to take that leap into the podcasting community and to now be able to have guests and be a guest for free. Let's see what else has happened. I traveled to Tennessee to be on a TV show where we got interviewed in a studio. That was really cool. I've been consistent on YouTube. So the podcast has been consistent every Monday. YouTube has been consistent every Thursday. We also launched the Dream Life Community, which is a coaching group on Facebook. I go live in there at around 8 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, for live coaching. This is kind of a devotional. This is a thought for the day. This is your kick in the butt for the day. This is your, boldness for the day. And then once a month, we do an extended training. And some of the trainings I do myself, and then I've invited experts to come in and train Dream Life Community as well. And that's been really cool. And what I love about the skills we teach within that group is that a lot of it is connected to business building, but all of the skills are really life building, how to communicate more effectively, how to cast vision for people, how to get over yourself and break through self-sabotage. And so whether you're a business owner or a working mom or a stay-at-home mom who wants to be your best self, it really is a community for you. We do accountability, and every couple months we do monthly challenges and things like that as well. And then let's see, we created Dream Space. So Dream Space was my live event that I did last January for the first time. It was my first full day workshop, and Oh my gosh, it was the best ever. I really, really enjoyed creating that and putting that together, taking all of this content and this passion and this experience and organizing it in a way that takes you on a journey is like my heart's desire. In Dream Space, the full-blown event was higher than my expectations. It was so stinking much fun. So what we did is we took that live event and we created it into an e-course because we knew that not everybody could travel. I couldn't travel to everyone, and we wanted to make the content available, and that was Dream Space Online. So goodness, when I first started this exercise, I'm like, oh, there's some things we didn't do, and I wish, and I don't know, and all these things. But when you look back, 2 journals, Design Your Dream Life, consistent on podcasting and YouTube. We've got the Dream Life community. We've got Dream Space, the live event, Dream Space Online. And then I also created a merch store this year, which was really fun. We've got Cup of Clarity mugs, Living My Dream. We've got t-shirts, sweatshirts, tank tops, all this fun stuff. And you know what? I think I've got to give myself some credit. And my guess is that you do too. As they say, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do in 10. And so when we take a look back at this last year, how far have you come? How have you grown? What have you experienced or done that pushed you to your next level? I know for me, I had to learn a lot in order to create all of this content and all of this stuff. I had to learn a lot. I had to learn skills I didn't know that I needed to learn until you realize you don't know how to do it. You have to figure it out. And then with my business, we're still rocking out our business. We've been in the top 10 this year. We were invited to Costa Rica, which is for the top 20 income earners in the entire company. And we had 2 of our teammates there as well. And you guys, that's been so fun, is to not only win ourselves and experience success ourselves, but be able to teach and duplicate that within the team. And so, when I look back over 2019, I really do feel proud and accomplished of not only the things on the outside we created, but how I have had to learn, grow, evolve, dig deep, try again, and just keep going in the midst of learning new skills and being unsure and second guessing sometimes. So again, let me ask you, what worked? I challenge you after this podcast to write a list of, number 1, the things you accomplished, the things you did that were different, that pushed you outside your comfort zone, and who you have become in the process. And let's honor ourselves. Let's honor our journey, because that's really what it's all about. So then the next question is, what could be better? What are some things that we want to shift? So for me, what could be better? What do I want to shift into this next year? I gained 15 pounds this year. I did. And I have no idea, quote unquote, why. I still work out, maybe not as intensely. I'm still eating healthy, but maybe not as healthy. I'm a little bit lackadaisical. What I know is when I don't have a goal, I sometimes feel like I'm spinning my wheels. And I know that I need a clear, specific goal to get those blinders on and for me to stick with it. So my goal this year is to create a couple of health goals for myself so that I can stay consistent. Maybe I might run a half marathon in May. I may join a challenge group at my local gym. And then I know with our company, we're doing a health weight loss challenge. And so I'm creating a group for all of our customers who want to be a part of that too. So that will help hold me accountable as well. What could be better? I'm still playing small. So one thing I forgot to mention is I did my first speaking gig in San Diego at the CEO Women's Business Summit. And again, that was a huge kind of growth area for me because it was the first time that I spoke my content outside of my company. And as silly as it sounds, there was a part of me that was like, will they like me if they don't know me? In my company, I know they know my story a bit more. They've already seen me have success. They understand, they're on the same journey. We kind of speak the same language. So will these other people who don't know me resonate with what I have to share? And you guys, they did. It was so much fun. It gave me a deadline for creating a keynote. It gave me an opportunity to share and talk in front of people that didn't know me yet, and it was so much fun. But what I realized is that I'm still playing small. 80% of our time should be promoting, getting in front of new people, marketing, inviting people on the journey with us. 20% of the time is creating content, the back end of the business, creating pictures for social media, creating content to share, that kind of thing. And so I realized I've spent so much time creating this year with the journals, with the merch, with trying to figure out how to create an e-course and how do you edit videos and all of these things, that this next year I want to play bigger. I want to do more outside facing marketing, promotion. 80% of the time I want to be like out in the marketplace rather than in my business creating content. And so I'm excited to dig deep and be a little bit louder. I'm excited to create time in my schedule to consistently go live, to consistently be in community groups, to get to know people in my community. I'm just excited to be louder again, because I think I've spent the last year or two really kind of getting things off my chest and getting them out of my soul. I felt like my soul needed to speak, and I've gotten it out on paper and I've created these things, and now it's time for me to really run and be loud. So some of the big dreams that I have is, of course, I'm working my business consistently. I really want to have 10 people at the next leadership retreat with us. I want 10 plus people to be in the top 20 or 25 or however they do it. They do movers and shakers. I want more people there because it's so much fun to be on this journey with team members that I am working to promote my 2.0 spot and help my local team really grow. So my eyes are on doing events, not only here locally, but also traveling around and doing events with my team. And what's so fun is I can do team events, and then I can also do dream life activities within those team events. And that just makes my heart sing, because I want people to make money. I want them to experience success in the business, but I know the way that they will do that is by freeing up who they are inside, by healing and letting go of those chains and stepping into who God created them to be. And so that's my heart's mission. And if I can do that within the business, then that's even better. What else? So I also want to spend time creating leadership materials. So I love working with leaders because I know leaders need to be led as well. And so one of my big visions is to create a certification program with Dream Life Coaching, where I can teach leaders how to teach this material, so it'll be a certification program. I don't see that happening quickly. I think that will be a 5-year goal, but it's fun to start thinking about how to do that and what that might look like. And number one, I got to teach this material more. I got to get it in front of you guys more. I got to make, really start sharing it even more with everybody here who is interested in learning, right? But then if you want to take it up a notch and learn how to teach it to others too, then that's where my certification program will come in, and that makes me really excited. What else? So I'm also excited to do more solo episodes this year on the podcast. This past year, I really did interviews. As you know, every Monday I did an interview. And then I used YouTube for solo stuff, where I just shared an idea, an exercise, a question, that kind of thing. And I want to do some more solo episodes. I'm not going to commit to a number because I'm not sure. But I love the idea of really just sharing my heart with you and sharing with you what I'm learning, what I'm growing through, and connecting with you in that way. So I want to do a few more solo episodes on the podcast this year. Let me see. Let me take a look at my notes and see what else. What I did is I took all areas of life: business, friendship, family, finances, health, hobbies, business, giving back, all 7 areas. And I wrote down what I wanted them to look like if they were a 10. What would it be if it was my dream life, right? What would I want it to look like? And I know health is a big focus for me. I know my business is a big focus for me. I know teaching and creating workshops is a big focus for me. I also know that date night is a big focus for me. Good communication with my husband. I want to schedule at least once a month, like a fun date night with Brandon. I also want to do something fun with each of my boys. And I'm going to say once a quarter because we're always together. And so I don't think, I need to do something one-on-one. But I do. I really am interested. And even if it's Wendy's or, take one to the grocery store with me, it doesn't have to be a big deal. But I do want to get some of that one-on-one time in with all three of my boys. A couple things for finances. We realized if we pay $2,000 extra a month on our mortgage, we can pay it off in 5 years. And this is our dream house. So to pay off our dream house is so motivating for me, right? That's so exciting. So when I think about my goals and then I reverse engineer, how do I need to make $2,000 extra a month? What does that really look like? And that keeps me motivated and going and excited to keep going as well. So take a look at all 7 areas of your life. Ask yourself, what would it look like if this were a 10? And then what I recommend is to pick one to be the primary focus. Now, I know for me, I'm going to have a health goal. I'm going to have a It Works goal. I'm going to have a dream life goal. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give each one of those things a spot on my calendar. But it depends on you, your schedule, and what that looks like. I don't want you to have too many focuses where nothing gets done right, but I want you to be excited about what you're working on. And so think about what life would look like if it were a 10. Pick one that would end up being your dream life goal, your focus for the next 3 months, and go from there. So the questions to ask yourself are, what worked this year? What are you awesome at? Like, give yourself some grace. Give yourself a pat on the back. What worked? And then what could be better? What are some things you noticed that you want to do a little bit differently? And that's okay. And then dream your next dream life goal. Give yourself the space to write, to reflect, and to refocus so you can set your dream life goal for 2020. And then last but not least, what I do is I take that goal and I kind of hone it into a word for the year or a theme. And so when I started really reflecting and praying and writing about this, the word faith came up for me. And the reason is because the last few years when I was creating all of this content, like getting out these books out of my system and learning all these new skills because I'd never published before and I didn't know how to edit videos and I didn't know how to record podcasts and all these things. I had a lot to learn, and I was doing it kind of frantically. I was like, I've got to get this stuff out of me or my soul will die. Like, it felt like my bones were shaking. Like this is my holy discontent. I've got to. And so there was a bit of like restless energy there. It felt like I got to. And what I want this year to be about is, now that I really have kind of birthed this baby of the podcast and YouTube and Dream Space and all of these things, the books, I want to take action, but yet rest in faith that it's all going to work out. Like, I want to take that same excited action, but I want the underlying energy behind it to be that of relaxed faith. Not like patience, like I'm waiting for something to happen to me. I'm still taking action. I'm still connecting with local churches and connecting with our local news stations and following up with leads every day and doing team trainings consistently. I'm still taking action. But instead of the action being restless or urgent or like hurried, I want the action to feel restful. And I'm excited about it, but I trust and have this deep faith that everything is going to be exactly as it should be. A lot of this content we teach at our retreats. I did 2 team cruises this past year and a team retreat at North Carolina, at a beach in North Carolina. We rented a house, and we do this type of exercises. I take you through this journey, and we talk about it, and we write about it, and we have that space to actually do the healing from the inside out and reconnect with ourselves. And so if you're at all interested in being a part of our team, absolutely let me know, because this is what we do all the time, and it's so stinking fun. Okay, so my word of the year is faith, and my friend gave me a necklace that has faith on it. I have another friend who sent me a plaque that has faith on it. I have a t-shirt that says faith on it. I'm putting it on my phone as my wallpaper. I actually have it as my pop socket, and to me that means trust the process, dude. Everything is good. God gives you the dreams in your heart, knowing that you already have everything you need to go bring it to fruition. So love the journey. So a couple other questions that I want you to write down that are simply just powerful. And as a former clinical psychologist, I love questions. And this is probably why I became a therapist, because I love good conversations at Starbucks. That is my mojo. That's my favorite. And so these are some questions you can ask yourself over a cup of coffee. I'll also write these in the show notes below. So the questions are: what do you really want? What does that look like? What about that is important? What else? What did you learn? What matters? Who are you becoming? What's next? What will you do? And when? How will you know? Yeah, it's fun to start really thinking about what's next for you. Who are you now? Who do you want to be? And what tangible step can you take to get there? I know way too many people who give up after just 1 year. I know way too many people who say, it didn't work. I'm not as far along as I expected. And they think that means they shouldn't be doing it. I know way too many people, and myself included, who think, who the heck am I to create this, to do this, to experience this? Who's going to listen to me? What? And we second guess ourselves, the process, and we self-sabotage by giving up too quickly. My friends, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can do in 10. So as you take a look past over the past year, and you realize that after another year, you're just compounding on the effort you've done this year, you can see that year after year after year, you are blossoming into who you are supposed to become. You are digging deep. You are rising strong. You are taking steps of courage, and you are living your dream life. I want to end with an affirmation that we created actually 10 years ago, a long time ago. We created this affirmation. My assistant and I, we Mod Podged it together and gave it to our leaders at an event. And I want to read it to you as an affirmation as we end this year strong. And it's kind of fun to hear it, because it's really, my content has not changed. And when I found it in my closet a few weeks ago, I thought, oh my gosh, the Dreamcast wasn't born yet. None of this content, like the Design Your Dream Life, none of that was born yet. Yet, in some sense, it had been. So cool. All right, so here we go. Today is another opportunity for success. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, and I have a clear picture of what I want for the future. I am content and ambitious. No matter what lies ahead of me, I can do it. I am capable, passionate, and full of unique potential. I have other talented people all around me. When I help them discover their gifts, I create the best team possible. I will improve incessantly and work wholeheartedly to live the life I've always imagined. I am a dreamcaster. Isn't that so cool? I love how we can look back and see how God's fingerprints are everywhere and it all just kind of comes together. So thank you for being on this journey. I cannot imagine doing life without you, and it's so much fun to learn, grow, and develop together. So thank you for sharing the podcast. Thank you for listening each week. Have an amazing end of 2019, and I'll see you in 2020.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I want to hear your aha moment from today's amazing episode. If you could leave a review at whatever podcast player you choose to listen from, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening from, leave a review and share with us your favorite part of today's episode. Thanks for hanging out, and remember to dream big.